welcome to Sheffield and welcome to SteeldogsTV in association with MF Hire. Sunday, February the 7th, and the Bradfield Brewery Sheffield Steeldogs were taking on the league-leading Basingstoke Bison. There's no love lost between these two teams, and even in warm-up things threatened to boil over. Thankfully, cooler heads prevailed. So on to the first period action. Steeldogs in the white uniforms. The Bison took control of this game early on and never let go. Opening goal coming on the power play at 4:35. Yarrell with that opening goal. They were to extend their lead at 7:54. Greener waiting at the back stick to patiently fire at home. Less than a minute later, and it was 3-0. Sean Thompson, the man in the right place, to capitalise on the opportunity and put the Bison 3 up. The Bison would score their third goal in less than 2 minutes of play through a Rennie Yarrell breakaway. Good burst through centre ice and beat Sedlar through the screen. 4-0 to the Bison. The 13th minute of the game, and the Bison would get their 5th goal of the night and their 2nd on the power play. Miroslav Vantraba patiently waited for the puck to come to him, and when it did, he didn't miss. 5-0 to the Bison. The Steeldogs finally got on the scoreboard themselves in the second session. Good work by Morgan and Lashek keeping the puck alive. Stano drives the net and pushes the puck home. Wasn't too long until the Steeldogs found themselves with another power play opportunity, but when Joe Greener intercepted the puck and made a breakaway in the opposite direction, tension from Bozas puts him off, no goal, but the referee on hand to award a penalty shot. Let's see how that penalty shot went. Sedlar denies Greener, and the score remains at 5-1 in favour of the Bison. Bison then had another opportunity to get their 6th on the board, and when the puck goes in, they think it's a goal, but the referee quick to wash it out as the net was off. Just like the previous game down in Basingstoke, one of the Bison players would get ejected for their illegal use of their stick. Van Trober with a butt end on Greg Wood there. Van Trober does go over to apologise to Greg Wood, but it was too late. The referee had made his decision, and Van Trober got a match penalty for butt ending. In case you missed it, we do have that incident again. That major penalty gave the Steeldogs a 5-minute power play. And virtually straight away, Bozas scored to make it 5-2 on the night. The Steeldogs look to further reduce the margin during that 5-minute advantage. And late on in it, with an extra Bison off the ice, they scored yet again through Bozas. Despite their best efforts, the Steeldogs couldn't score again, and at 57:02, Matt Tawalski was to finish the game as a contest. Stealing the puck there, taking his time, and beating Sedlar. So as the clock ran down, the game finished in a 6-3 win to the Basingstoke Bison. After the game, we spoke to Steeldogs captain Ben Morgan and defenceman Lee Haywood to get their thoughts on the match. So we're joined by Steeldogs captain Ben Morgan after a 6-3 loss to Basingstoke. Ben, a tough one tonight. Basingstoke came out hard, got a good lead. When we were chasing it from then on.
Yeah, it's always difficult whenever you go down after the first period, but to go down 5-0, it's very disappointing on our part. We obviously spoke in changing room about where we'd gone wrong, and individual errors, team errors in wrong places and in right places for them, and they've obviously capitalised, and they're a very offensive team, and there's no wonder why they're putting the puck in back in the net as easy as what they did. But we showed good character as we always do, to get ourselves back at game second period and to actually make a game of it. And but like I say, it's always difficult when you go behind to a team that's obviously top of the league, and they've got that much firepower. They're bound to put them away if you put it on a plate for them. So disappointed, yeah.
Do you think the conversation after the last game down in Basingstoke had an effect on kind of how we came out? Do you think that was on people's minds, or?
I don't know. It might have been for a few people. You'd have to speak to individual players and ask, but I don't think it had a bearing on the reason why we came in 5-0 down. As I say, were just individual errors, which then led to team errors, as I said earlier, in the wrong places for us and in the right places for them. I don't think we're anywhere near as disciplined as what we were last night and as what we have been for the last 4 or 5 games. We're taking far too many penalties, sticking penalties, and it's not good enough. But the effort's there. We can't fault the effort. It's just being a little bit more clinical and a little bit more smarter in right areas. But we'll get there. It's another 2 points picked up, and if we can keep on getting to that, what we like to call magical 54 mark, if we can get 54 points out of 54 games this season for a club of our stature in the way that we're progressing, that'll be a really, really good season for us, and hopefully we can get a good team in playoffs, and anything can happen when it comes to the playoffs.
You mentioned last night, so with a 7-3 win over in D-side against Manchester, I guess a very different performance to tonight. Were you surprised how easy it was, but certainly kind of by the end it was quite a margin. Were you surprised that Phoenix kind of rolled over to the extent they did?
Yeah, I were actually, to be honest. They've got a very good team, and I know they're only missing James Archer, who's obviously an experienced British forward for him. But it's probably the most convincing win and the most disciplined and professional display we've put in against Manchester for quite a few years, and that's why tonight's so disappointing that we've gone from one extreme to the other. And we've really shot ourselves in foot that first period, and you know you can't give teams that quality that head start. It's just you can't do it. So we've got to brush ourselves down and pick ourselves up and get on with next weekend, and it's another opportunity to pick up points on the table and get us to in a good position come end of the season.
You're talking next weekend, so we're home on Saturday against Telford. I guess at least the Telford monkey has been shaken off our backs. Optimistic that we can rack up some points against Telford next week?
Yeah, definitely. We can beat any team, we know we can, but we've just got to be smart and play to our strengths and just be disciplined. And if we do that, and we've shown it time and time again, because we've got so much bounce back ability, it is a word, I'm sure it is, it's in the dictionary. It's ridiculous, honestly, and we can, even if we do go behind and we're stuck behind 8 ball, we can always pull ourselves back. But it's nice to just go in front, and I think over Christmas period, 4 or 5 games up track, we were going in front and we were taking 2-goal leads, and that's what was getting us over the line quite comfortably. So we need to get back to that. We don't need to get back to giving teams 2 and 3 goal head starts on us and having to traipse our way back into games. So we've got it in the locker room, and obviously if we can keep fit and we can keep on going to the end of the season, it should be promising, and look forward to playoffs.
And finally, you always kind of talk about the team as captain, which is always good to hear, but on a personal note, so last night you finally got your first goal of the league campaign. Was that a real thrill for you?
It's I've got a monkey off my back, and this monkey is called Tim Smith. I've had no but grief off him all year. So
a 4-goal monkey?
That one was for you, Tim. I couldn't find you in crowd last night, but that's for you, Tim.
Well done, and good luck for next weekend.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you. So we're joined by Lee Haywood after the game against Basingstoke. So Lee, a tough one tonight. They kind of went out hard, and we were chasing it from then on.
Yeah, what can you say when you give 5 goals up when you give 5 goals in the first 12 minutes? I mean, it's a massive mountain to climb from there on in now. We tried his best after that and regrouped, but what can you say when you've already given a first period like that where you're giving 5 goals, and just it's inexplicable really. Like, I don't know, what can you do when you're given 5 goals? All goals that we give them to, it's not just where they were the better team. They've come out hard. We've probably, can't say bust legs because we're at home and stuff, but it's just there's no reason for it. You can't. It's not.
Asked the same question to Ben, kind of whether the carryover from the last game might have been on some guys' minds tonight. Do you think that was a factor?
Maybe. I mean, it shouldn't have been, but maybe some people thought they'd have come out and played. I know they come out hard but be a bit more physical, and they had that in the back of their minds, whereas they've come out hard but done it properly and played hockey, whereas we've come out just a bit on edge, maybe. I don't know. I can't explain, but it shouldn't be, but maybe it was.
Okay. Let's have I think back to last night in D-side. A much different and better performance there. Phoenix have traditionally been, I guess, over the years, something about a nemesis to us, but that seemed a relatively easy victory last night.
I wouldn't say easy. I mean, it's never easy in derby games and stuff, especially against Manchester. I think our performance made it look easy, but we played really well last night. So disciplined. It was probably our best disciplined performance against Manchester. So yeah, I wouldn't say easy apart from our best performance making it look easy.
Okay, and just finally, so after the game, you were selected to hand over the 50-50 prize, but to Lewis's dad. You're going to give Lewis a bit of abuse about that one?
Yeah, probably not now. It's probably not the right time, but yeah, in coming days I'll give him some stick about that, and I'm sure he'll not be happy about it.
Do we have to make sure we get a signed photo of you for Jerry?
Yeah, we'll put it up in his stall, so he's got it.
Thanks, Lee.
No, thank you.